Little doggies. Hello. Hello. They're following us now.
Hello. We are back for Lockdown Conversations, episode 2. We are back, and this time I'm with Sammy.
I know, right?
How you
Look
doing?
at us catching up outside of work.
I know, right? So yes, we are back to discuss all things lockdown. Last week we were chatting a bit about uncertainty. Me and Gina chatted about that, and this week we're chatting a bit about what's it like. What are we going to do going into round 2 of lockdown? Now, first of all, Sammy, which way do we go? Left or right?
I'm going to say right.
Yep, this way.
Let's just go right.
Let's go right. Let's see what happens here. So we're in a park for a socially distanced walk, just to catch up and chat and kind of see how each other are doing. So yeah, how are you doing, Sammy?
I'm okay. Like last time, when we went into lockdown and I was okay, it wore off after like a day. But I genuinely feel good because I kind of feel like I know what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
So I'm keeping myself busy, keeping myself all right. Like, how are you finding it?
I'm doing all right. Yeah. I'm still doing a little bit of work, so that's good. And then spending a bit of time with my wife.
Oh, that's lovely.
So that's nice. So Sammy, did you see last week's High Live?
Yeah, I did.
All right. So you might have noticed we've started a brand new thing called Lockdown Lifelines. Okay. And the very first week we got tips on how to survive lockdown. Last week I got people to send in their very best jokes, like the best material they had.
Oh no,
so I'm
Joe.
just wondering, what do you have a joke for us?
Okay, right. So we're on this walk, right?
Yeah.
It reminds me of this one time I saw Mummy Tomato and Daddy Tomato and Baby Tomato going on a walk. And you know, the dad got really upset because Baby Tomato was taking his time and he said, "Oh, you, ketchup." Like, ketchup,
Poor.
but ketchup.
That's poor.
No?
You know, I've never heard that joke before.
Oh, guys, put some tomatoes in the chat for me if you thought that was all right. Come on, that was all right.
Cool. So, we're in the round 2 of lockdown. It's all kicking off again. I didn't think we would be in this place again. I didn't think we would be.
I was kind of waiting for it.
You were waiting for it.
Yeah.
All right. So, how... You mentioned a little bit before that you like lockdown's been okay so far. Like, what have you done to make it feel okay? Like, why does it feel better this time round than it did last time round?
I think I am allowing myself to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And the first time round, because it was such a shock to the system, I started wishing it away. I was like, oh my gosh, I wish this would be over so I could get back to normality and kind of do that. But I feel like time is something that's so priceless for humanity. Everyone, since they've been alive, has been asking, I wish I had more time. I wish I had more time. And now we finally got the time. And I'm kind of trying to use it to do things that I really enjoy, that kind of like make me feel good as well. So, dude, I'm all right, and I'm doing a bit of work as well. So maybe that's why I feel a bit sane.
Yeah,
but
like a little bit of routine.
Yeah,
I've definitely found having a little bit more of a routine has definitely helped me this time round, rather than kind of just like,
slobbing about.
What am I going to do today? I'm just going to watch some more Netflix. Or definitely getting into a routine, doing a little bits and pieces like that, I've definitely found super helpful. But one thing I've noticed going into round 2 of lockdown is in the first round of lockdown, there was like this kind of wartime mentality, right?
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Like spirit, like everyone was like in it together. Like the Thursday night claps for the NHS. Did you do that?
Were you judging the neighbours that weren't coming out to clap?
Oh my days, like we would.
I was looking at you, number 35. You weren't there for 3 weeks. No, I'm joking.
But there was, right? Just
Yeah,
like,
no, there was
a complete, the spirit, everyone was like, you know what, we're in lockdown, but it's going to be okay, like, we'll sit on our sofas in unity and watch TV in unity, and it's going to be all right. And like, we set up a WhatsApp group down our street.
Oh, nice.
And I started chatting to neighbours that I've never chatted to before. We baked a lemon drizzle cake for our neighbours. So yeah, it's pretty good.
Anybody else want to be Joe's neighbour right now?
We are a great neighbour.
Flippin' heck.
Great neighbour. Did you do anything like that?
Well, we were helping a lady that lived on our street because she couldn't really kind of like go out and get her shopping. She was so fun to get to know. She was really funny. Yeah, that was really cool.
That's cool. I love that. And I wonder if you have any stories like that. I wonder if you, during the first time lockdown, you got involved. Maybe you spoke to a neighbour you never spoke to before. Why don't you put that in the comments if you ever did that?
Oh, cute little doggies. Hello. Hello. They're following us now.
Bye, dogs.
Oh.
I'm not even a dog person, but they were cute dogs.
They were beautiful dogs.
They were beautiful dogs.
Very neat.
And so going into lockdown number 2, it doesn't really feel like that, does it?
It doesn't.
Like, it literally, when I found out about lockdown, I was just like, really? Really?
Joe's over it, people.
I'm done. But, yeah, it doesn't really feel like that same unity as we had in the first lockdown, does it? It doesn't really feel like everyone's in it together.
Yeah.
Don't know if you've noticed that.
No, I think it has been like a massive, like, flop in energy. I do think part of it is just because people are a bit over it. But yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I think people are just over it, right? We just didn't really expect it to kind of happen again. So, I suppose my big question for today is, how do we get a bit of that wartime spirit back? Like, how does that happen again?
I think, do you know what? I think it's probably because the first time round, we kind of looked around in society and kind of like we're looking for who are the people that are pushed aside, who we can kind of like actually be grateful for, like the NHS staff who do so much, NHS staff who do so much for us. And it's like, I think right now we need to figure out that there are people who are still working hard. Number one, the NHS is still working hard, hard as ever. Like, we should still continue to kind of like be grateful for those guys and cheer them on. Like teachers, all my days, like, you know, like Daniel's wife, Emily, she's going to work every single week teaching her pupils. Like, they're kind of putting themselves like at risk because young people, it doesn't affect them, COVID, but they tend to be carriers. So it's like they're going right where it's at. And I think we should do something kind for those guys. And I even wonder, for you guys, who do you see in society right now who we can kind of cheer on and encourage them in what they're doing? They're the people that we can cheer on together and kind of get that spirit back. Do you know what I mean?
Totally get you. You know what, Sammy? I reckon we try and find a bench somewhere and we can chat about this a little bit more.
Oh, let's do it.
Let's do it. Well, we struggled to find a bench, so we found a log instead.
Look how my legs swing, everyone.
So, what were we just chatting about? We were chatting about kind of trying to get the wartime spirit sort of vibe back, and kind of talking about helping people as well, weren't we? And I think for me, it's like, cool, during these moments, it's so easy just to look after me. Do you know what I mean? And look after myself. But like, look at the person of Jesus, and he was always helping people, wasn't he? That was like kind of his thing, like going out and helping people, that he would always have time for people. I think one of my favourite stories in the Bible is when Jesus helps that woman who has been sick for like 12 years, and he's in the crowd and he's super busy because he's trying to get called away to someone else's house, and he's super busy in this crowd, and then this woman touches him, just thinks that maybe I can be healed. If I touch his cloak, maybe I'll be healed. She does it, she's healed, but Jesus doesn't stop there. He chats to her, talks to her, and spends time. He's really busy, but he actually spends time talking to her. And for me, that story shows me that even when I feel like I'm really busy to help people out, or I'm just trying to get through this situation on my own, actually, I need to lift my eyes and see there's so many other people that I can help out. There's so many other people that need help.
I think there are so many stories within the Bible where we see Jesus in the middle of the business of his life. He stops and he looks outward and he helps the needs of those around him. And one thing that's amazing is for us as Christians, like being a Christian is all about being like Jesus, being like Christ. And for us in the business of this world right now, I want to challenge you guys, like who around you that you can see would actually benefit from you helping them, or actually benefit from you taking the time out to reach out to them. I know one thing that was mega for me in school is there was always people that felt a bit excluded. And especially imagine like in this time as they're just kind of like, whatever was happening at home, maybe their parents aren't able to work anymore, like what could you do to reach out to that person to make them feel like they're seen?
I like that.
What people around you could you possibly see the need of? Maybe they need food or whatever. Like last roundtable sessions that we did, Dan talked about this young girl who took her birthday money and donated all this food to a food bank. And for me, that still stays with me and it challenges me.
So cool.
And especially in this time, there is so much need around us, and we can be like God's hands and feet on this earth, like Jesus did. We can do that stuff, and we can look outward and help the people around us.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. Like you're saying, like Jesus, he makes the unseen people seen, right? And the people who'd been forgotten about and on the fringes and out of society, sort of thing. He went to those people and helped them, and so that's for us. We need to do that, don't we?
Exactly.
We need to reach out to those people. Yes. So I think that's a brilliant challenge, like you were saying, Sammy. Like, how can
careful on those dips.
Challenge. Why don't we be people who look out for other people? So this next week, my challenge to you is this, is to look outward. Stop looking at yourself maybe, and think, how can I help people this week? Maybe it's baking a cake for a neighbour. Maybe, I've lost Sammy.
I'm sorry, I'm messing around.
Maybe it's baking a cake for a neighbour. Maybe it's baking a cake for a neighbour. Maybe it's like helping out at a food bank. I don't know. It could be anything. It could be really simple. It could be just sending an encouraging text message to a friend that you've not seen in a while. Whatever it is, this week, why don't you try and help someone? That is our challenge to you this week. And in the comments below, why don't you maybe put some ideas on how you could help people? Or maybe you could even let us know some of the things you've done to help people. What little acts of kindness, what have you done to help people during this time? Remember, there is a God who loves you, who sees you, even in those moments when you don't think anyone sees you. He loves you and he cares for you, and he's got a plan and a purpose for your life. We'll be back next week for episode 3 of Lockdown Conversations. Thank you so much for joining me, Sammy.
Thank you for having me.